Hi, Martin Rowe from Meerstone Archaeological Consultancy here with an introduction to the Meerstone Community Archaeology Manual. After many years researching and recording sites as an amateur, I studied archaeology as a mature student and then started Meerstone Archaeological Consultancy in 2005. On my blog, Meerstone at WordPress, you can find out more about my journey into archaeology. I accidentally got involved in community archaeology when I was asked to run a project in Middleton Park, Leeds that ended up winning a highly commended in the British Archaeology Awards. I've taken my experience there to go on and write the Meerstone Community Archaeology Manual as a way to share knowledge that I've gathered as both an amateur and professional archaeologist. Because I did my own fieldwork for years with minimal resources and more recently through working with community groups and local archaeology societies, I've seen how a lack of knowledge and equipment can impact on the outcome of a project. Probably a result of my northern working class roots, I've rather tongue-in-cheek suggested that the manual is a stepping stone on the road to self-enlightenment. Joking aside, there's a long tradition of self-improvement in the UK. A publication like this has the potential to continue that tradition. Victorians had the Mechanics' Institute movement, and at the start of the 20th century the Workers' Education Association, WEA, was founded. And in the last 20 years we've seen the rise and then almost complete disappearance of university continuing education departments. And that's a great shame because that's where I started my formal study of archaeology. Currently, individuals and communities have been encouraged to volunteer and get involved in the running of everything from the local library to pubs, parks, nature reserves and castles. On a worldwide stage, organisations such as UNESCO encourage and empower local communities to get involved in the long-term conservation and management of important ecological and historical sites. But this all needs to be underpinned by strong, clear and effective guidelines, and that's what I'm trying to do with this manual. There's a great quote that I came across recently attributed to Einstein that says, "If you can't explain it simply to a 6-year-old, then you don't understand it yourself." Now, long before I found that quote, I'd realised the importance of writing accessible text, and I've taught enough people to know that even the most complex archaeological tasks can be done by most people with the right guidance. Breaking processes down into smaller stages with clear step-by-step instructions works really well, and in the manual I use a scoring system that lets people understand how difficult a task is before the beginning, and providing checklists and flowcharts to follow builds confidence that they're doing it right. Difficulty is rated from 1 to 5 trowels, and that's an idea that I borrowed from a well-known car repair manual. Open source and free software is at the heart of the methodologies. Projects can struggle because of a lack of access to effective software, so this has been at the core of the project from the start. Learning to use software like CAD and GIS can give people real transferable skills, and this can have a long-term benefit, but only if people are able to have continued access to the software. Although it's a much abused term, these are legacy skills that can be used in other situations. I've seen local archaeology groups move from projects run by a professional archaeologist to running their own projects using their recently acquired skills. The manual's open content, which means that the content is not fixed, it's constantly being revised and added to. I've described it as being a bit like Wikipedia, but with an editor. Wikipedia is a great socially inclusive concept where anyone can add information, but having no one to check and correct facts is seen by many as a significant weakness. Open content offers a flexibility that's not possible with printed books, and with the spread of tablet computers and e-readers, e-books are an excellent portable alternative to traditional books, and of course the e-book format lets me include more illustrations. As a visual thinker, I find that well thought out diagrams, flowcharts and photographs can give explanations that are much clearer than using simply text. I encourage users to offer material for the manual or request improvements on new content. I did have a vision of it becoming a community resource with many authors, but so far that's been a little slow to take off. That aside, it's well on its way to becoming a really big book of how to do almost everything. To find out more, please visit the Meerstone Community Archaeology Hub, where you can see the services that Meerstone offers to community projects, the latest news about the manual, see a sample and find out how to buy a copy.